right, y'all, before we start, because some of y'all be tripping, under the advice of counsel, I got to add that the views, thoughts, opinions that are expressed on this podcast are mine and mine alone. They do not represent my employer. All right, let's go.
Because I was like, damn, do we really want to get into this discussion? Because if we get into this discussion right here, y'all.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Ridgemont Forest Finest, the podcast, Teachers on Christmas Break edition. Hello, ladies.
What up?
Y'all supposed to say hello, Beyonce.
But you're not Beyonce.
Okay,
Hello, Mrs. Carter.
Hello, Mrs. Carter. All right. So, y'all know, first of all, hey, y'all.
Hey.
I know if y'all can tell we're in a remote location. By remote, I mean my kitchen table. I harassed all the teachers to get together, and we are going to try to do this a couple of times before we go back to work for the break, but wanted to still bring y'all an episode. Y'all, let's talk about Christmas break. How's y'all Christmas break going? Is everybody resting, relaxing? What are we doing?
You know what? It is productive. I ain't going to even lie to you.
All right.
I was able to fill out 5 job applications.
This lady.
It's productive.
We will take that. We will take that. What about you, Nikki? How's your break been going?
Oh, the break is decluttering my mind and decluttering physically, because we walking into the new year with, nothing but space and opportunity.
Uh-oh. Well, guys, this is not Teachers After Dark. Chill. Virgo Cutie with the beauty, with the booty, with the baby. That ass is assing today. Oh, this is not Teachers After Dark. Hey, so how has your break been going?
Good. Somebody told me about bed rotting, and I've been couch rotting. It has been by far the best. I just sit on my couch under my blanket and just binge watch shows. I just watch until my heart is full, and it's so great. I love it.
I just want to say that when I told you that my plans for Christmas break were to bed rot, you judged me. You judged me heavily.
I did.
You also told other people that tried to judge me.
I did.
I tried to get people on your team, but that's all I do is bed rot on the break, and it helps because it's good for your mental health. It's great for your mental health to decompress from the toxic school year that we've had, the toxic school semester we've had, and to just, regroup and get ready to do it again second semester.
I do agree now. I absolutely agree. It's so amazing. I just sit on my couch and do nothing. It's great.
Very good. Love that. Sasha, what you been up to?
I would like to say that I have been enjoying the same thing, but life is a little bit different when you have a little toddler running around.
That's very ghetto.
And you have a husband that's also off. I can't wait till January 2nd, so he goes back to work. Love you, baby. But I want to rot on my couch in peace.
In peace.
I don't want to hear what do you want to do today. Nothing. I don't want to do anything.
What are you cooking today? What are you doing?
No, that question does not get asked. We know better than that. But I don't want to do anything. I want to sit on the couch. I want to watch TV. I don't want you to look at me. I just want to be alone.
Don't rub my leg.
I feel that. Don't rub my leg. Don't tap my shoulder. I'm on break. Yeah. I feel that. Okay. All right. So y'all know, per usual with this podcast, we take topics that have been going on in social media, or maybe topics that I've discussed on my TikTok page, and we kind of go into them a little deeper. So the one I want to tackle today is the conversation about that, because it's come up again, about teachers taking bullets for their students. All right.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I feel strongly about that.
Hold on. All right. So, did a video, because the conversation had been coming up about a parent saying that teachers were selfish for not risking their lives or not protecting their students and not doing all they could to protect the students and not taking a bullet for their kids. And it's so crazy when we have these conversations, because teachers start responding, and then parents, because their comprehension is just as low as their children's, they take the narrative and they twist it. All right. So they twist it into teachers saying straight up, I'm gonna sacrifice your kid, right? And I don't think any of us, well, maybe not at this table,
I might
are talking about sacrificing your kid. We're not gonna throw your kid and use your kid as a human shield to save our lives, right? But
fair.
all right. But let's tackle a couple of questions. So a lot of people are saying that teachers are selfish for not putting their students first. You signed up for this job. You knew what it is. Your job is to protect students. So is this what we signed up for? And do you think teachers are selfish for not taking a bullet for their kids? Let's tackle taking the bullet concept to their kids.
I did not sign up to be all I can be. I'm
Not G.I. Jane?
I'm not G.I. Jane. I am not taking a bullet for anybody. I have my own family that I would like to get home to. My mommy wants to see me walk through the door and bring my child with me when I do. So yeah, sorry parents.
Yeah. I have a conversation with my kids all the time, and when I say my kids, meaning those in the classroom, that it is never my goal to be a hero. I do not want to be the person that they interview afterwards, or the person who they are, going to my family saying, "Oh, she sacrificed because she loved her job so much." No, I loved my own family more. I'm sorry.
I think the confusion comes from when parents don't realize how much we actually get paid. And I'm going to be point blank for you right now. If my child was in the classroom or in a building where, God forbid, Jesus, that anybody decided to act a fucking fool, my child knows.
Not Teachers After Dark.
Oh, sorry, to act a fool. My child knows what to do. My child knows what to do. Will I be appreciative? Absolutely. But do I expect it? No, I do not. Because we are all human, and I think the moment that you all play into the fact that we get paid this amount of money, it's equivalent to you getting your babysitters off of Craigslist. But Kafka, whatever, real quick, the pay that we receive is almost equivalent to you buying your babysitter from your cousin who knows somebody down the street. And I think you guys need to realize that what we're trained to do is educate. When we educate your children, great. Protect your children and sacrifice our body is an absolute no. It would never happen. Don't look forward to it. If your kids are on my roster, prepare to know these things. It's not happening.
Oh my God. Prepare to know these things.
I don't know. I guess that's where I'm different. When my kids step in the door, I treat them like my children. And I want them to know that I love them. And I'm, here for them so that they buy into me. It's about them buying into me. So whatever I need or whatever I want from them, they're going to do it because they buy into me for the simple fact that I love them, right? So I tell them, hey, look here. If I come to work and have to sacrifice my life for you, looks like you're going to have to do the same for me. I mean, it's equal. This is mutual. So if I'm sacrificing for you, that means it's not time to play. Look here, somebody plays and think it's a joke. If somebody comes up here and shoots up this building, guess what? Laugh and joke if you want to. I'm sacrificing you for the better of us. It's only the mommy instinct in me. It's just me being a mommy.
When I move, you better move. Follow the leader. You've been following me all this time. If you see me go this way quietly. Because if they get to making noises, I'm going to skedaddle. They heard y'all, not me.
Yeah, that's right. But if they hear you, look here, you doing too much. I'm sacrificing you. I'm pushing you right out the door so that we all can live. It's just sacrifice one for the better of everybody else.
Hunger Games.
This is
definitely Hunger Games. So here's my stance on it, right? I feel like, am I going to take a bullet for you? No, absolutely not. I'm not doing it. Like, that's just not my plan. My plan is to follow the plan that the people told us that we have to do, right? Now, somebody on TikTok in my comment section said that was called malicious conformity, or no, malicious compliance. Malicious compliance, because they don't like the plan, right? So they're saying, oh, well, if you're saying that you're just going to follow the plan and you could do more, then you're just maliciously complying. Well, damn, that's what y'all vote. The people that y'all voted for, the people that y'all put in office, that went and made the rules for us to follow, said this is what we had to do. And so, because I know a lot of parents are not familiar with a lot of the safety plans that the school districts have, I made another video and said, hey guys, this is what the state of Texas says for schools K through 12. This is what we are supposed to do. And as we know, because we teach in various places, but I looked at all of our safety plans for our school districts, and they are very similar. And they say, let's say if it's a lockdown. Lockdown, we know there's a disruption in the building. We got custody issues, we got stuff like that. But it specifically says if there is an active shooter in the building, we go on lockdown, right? So lockdown means close your door, make sure your doors are locked, which in the state of Texas, our doors have to be locked already, or we are anyway. Our doors have to already be locked. That's our policy. The doors have to be locked. You cut the lights out. You get into the corner or the back part of the classroom, out of the view of the window, and you stay as quiet as possible. So there's a lot of things that I feel are crazy or messed up about that, is because, number one, in my school, for example, we got a window, right? But with the blinds they have, you can still see. There's never a complete blackout moment. So if you walk by my room and you look, so you tilt your head 45 degrees to the left, you're going to see everybody that's sitting on that back wall trying to hover down and be quiet. It's not going to happen. Number 2, the kids are never quiet. They never take anything seriously at all. So especially, and one of the things says you're on lockdown until we say you're not on lockdown anymore. And it specifically says in the Texas State thing that sometimes this could be for hours. You want us to keep some 14, 13, 14-year-olds completely on hush mouth for hours, right?
I can't do that during testing.
I can't do that during testing. It just doesn't work, right? But if I say, hey, my goal is to make sure that we all get home without incident, then that's my goal. But I don't feel like a lot of the schools are designed for us to be keeping kids safe. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know.
They look nice, though.
They look very pretty. They're very, very pretty. Some with windows, some without windows.
Some with a whole lot.
Some with floor length windows.
Some with floor length windows. Some with floor length
around.
windows.
I don't get the concept of y'all honestly believing that we should die for your children. I don't get where does that gall come from? Like where does that come from? The audacity to believe
Entitlement
that I should die for your children who has probably done the absolute most. You as a parent have probably done the absolute most, and you want me to sacrifice for your child. I think that we need to put that word back in front of it. It is your child. So if you don't like certain protocols or policies or, people allowing certain things, do your job for your child. And it's not my job to give my all to your child. I just can't do it. And I never will do it. Don't even look for me to do it. It's my all for your child, mine and yours.
Just keep them at home. You should just homeschool them. You just sacrifice. You make the sacrifice.
Right, you make the sacrifice.
You never have to worry about a school shooter if you homeschool.
This is facts. So somebody said in the comment, they were like, well, this is why I teach my son to run. Like, if the teacher won't do A, B, C, D, I teach my kid to run, and they know to get in the corner and call me because the mama is coming. And I'm like, whoa,
to do what?
To do what?
But now you messing up my protocol.
Or not only that, you're being a jackass trying to say that you telling your kid what to do. You are really putting your kid in a line of fire. You're putting your kid in danger.
You remember that comment? You just remember that moment when you say the school didn't do what they were supposed to do. No,
you told your
son to go do X, Y, and Z, and that is what happened. If I ever catch any strays, you need to know it's going to be in my bag. Because I'm done.
You running.
I'm done.
But the fact that she said, because mama is coming. Mama,
where are you? First of all, you 30, 45 minutes away. You at work.
You're not getting.
And how you get in the building that's on lockdown?
You're not getting up here.
I just want to know what you're going to do when you get there. No. What you going to do?
It's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to happen. So
the best thing y'all can do is teach our children to not get mad when they don't get their way. Because that's where most of these idiotic moments come from. That's the best thing y'all can ever teach your children. If you want to teach them about policy and protocol and how to behave and how to act if something gets out of hand, teach them in the first place to where we don't even have this idiotic moment of somebody bringing a gun to school. We'll really appreciate that.
Now, that's big facts. That's big facts. Or if you're not going to have that conversation, at least partner with us as teachers to say, hey, this is your school safety plan, because y'all love to say y'all are taxpayers and y'all pay our salaries and blah, blah, blah.
I saw that shit.
Right?
I saw that.
So if you are a true partner with the school and the teachers and the community, make sure that you are encouraging the safety plan. Telling your kids the safety plan. When something happens, this is what you need to do. Because sometimes it's a drill and sometimes it's not a drill. Y'all, I had the other day, girl, baby, take that phone call. That might be a man or a blessing. That's okay. The other day, my child had a basketball game at Santa Fe High School. And when I tell y'all, it was if y'all remember, Santa Fe High School had a shooting there probably about 7-8 years ago. I can't remember. At the time, I was working at a school literally 10 minutes down the street from Santa Fe. And the whole highway was on lockdown. It was it wasn't a good feeling. But walking into that school in the actual building, the new building, because they tore that part down and redid the section, and I had to be in that section. It was so eerie.
Ooh,
it was just driving onto the campus was eerie. Like everything, I was like, please God, get this game over. I'm ready to get the heck up out of this school. It just wasn't a good feeling at all.
I had that same feeling.
Yeah, because y'all ended up playing over there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just wasn't a good feeling at all. And I just want y'all's kids to start taking things seriously. And they don't take anything seriously. They don't think anything could ever happen to them. They don't think that it could be them in the situation. And we wouldn't even have to be having this conversation about putting our lives on the risk. Again, like I said, my goal is for us all to get home. But, you know, there's that on that. But
while my goal is also for us all to get home, in the words of Taraji P. Henson, a.k.a. Cookie, I got to put myself first, Lucius. I got to put myself first, okay? I got to get home, for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so let's move on to the next topic that I think went crazy. Have y'all, or do y'all follow, it's a white lady. She got the stiffest bob you've ever seen in your life, and she's called the special education boss. She's an advocate.
I've heard of her.
No, but for some reason it popped up on my For You page, and I've been pissed off. I mean, I've been upset ever since.
Yeah. I blocked that lady a long time ago because maybe when I first started on TikTok, she had some beef with me or something, and I think I ended up blocking her because she gives the most outlandish advice, but she has this cult of special education moms that follow her and they stick to her word like it's Bible. And her advice is so crazy. So this particular video that came up, she has a talk show or a podcast where people call in and ask for advice. And they called in and asked, like, hey, the school keeps calling me because my child is having accidents on themselves. And they're not changing them or something. It's not a part of the IEP. Key phrase, it's not a part of the IEP. What should I do? This lady says, stop answering the phone. Oh, if the school keeps calling you about coming to change your clothes because your child has an accident, stop answering the phone. Wow. It's not your job to provide. You're not the LEA. You are not the education. I can't remember what the dang initial stand for, but you're not the education institution. It's not your job to do their job. It's their job to do A, B, C, D. So it's like, whoa. I understand if toileting, diapering is what they call it in the IEP for those kids that are like our life skills, our functional skills babies. Those babies have that in their plan.
Right.
You sound like you in a general education class and your kid just ain't potty trained. And or they might be on an IEP, but their IEP does not include anything with toileting.
Because they're in the general pop.
Yeah. So you're saying don't answer the phone call. Don't answer the phone call.
That's not neglect or something?
That is hella neglect, I think. And so everybody is like, yes, good advice, because why should I have to come up there? Are y'all insane?
Wow.
You want your kid, you rather your kids
just sit
in their soil because she said that they're missing out on their education. What?
Wow.
For you to come up there and bring a change of clothes, and they're asking you to bring him home. They said, hey, come change him. Mm-hmm. So you telling me that he's missing out on education for you bringing up 15 minutes of him changing in the nurse's office? Mm-hmm. He's missing that much education to where you would leave. I want to make sure I'm understanding this. You would leave your child in his mess for 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour.
Yeah.
Because you feel what?
Because they bothering you?
Yeah. It's our job. Like, you are removing him from his learning environment, his least restrictive learning environment, when you are having him sit in the nurse's office or you're having him sit in the office waiting on a change of clothes, or you're not changing him. Well, one, what am I changing him with? He doesn't have a fresh set of clothes. Number two, if he is not, or they are not, diapering and toileting is not a part of their IEP,
then that means he's able to go.
You're able to go. You're just not trained. Now, here is my thing. When we get into liability, right? Because this particularly, they started going left, of course, about like, what if it's a bowel movement, right? Whose job is it to clean that? So they automatically put it on the school nurse. When we get into the liability that is, so you're telling me that I have to clean your kid that is not on an IEP for diapering. Okay, that's liability. I just don't feel comfortable with that.
So I'm feeling a little bit triggered because all I'm sensing is this is what brews the entitlement in our education system. This is the parents that we deal with all the time, because look at this mindset right now that you expect me to basically be a personal caregiver.
That's it.
To be a CNA for your child.
That you failed to potty train.
Like, I am a licensed professional and you are reducing me down to doing the basics of your job, which essentially makes me me feel like you want me to be your mammy. Like, that's just what, like, when I'm hearing this, and especially when you said with this little stiff bob and, you know, the cult following, that's all I could think about is this is what breeds this type of entitlement from these types of parents. Like, this is really how y'all feel, that everything is somebody else's job?
Yeah, when it comes to your child.
It's giving slavery, and I don't like it. Okay, I'm done.
And here's the thing, right? A lot of these parents, this is the conversation that we have all the time. These parents want you to focus on their one and neglect the other 29 that you have. So while I am cleaning your 7, 8, 9-year-old's ass because you did, while I'm cleaning their mess because you didn't potty train them or they didn't realize that they had to BM when they, whatever. What's happening with the other 29 kids that I'm supposed to be teaching nouns and verbs to?
Oh, you didn't know? We have an unlimited amount of paras and educational aides, and we could just call the principal in, and they'll cut. Like, we have all this extra help,
like the teacher on the rolling cart that has all the solutions in his school.
Yeah.
That
we could just call all
right.
these endless people that we have access to that's on our campus.
And for our people who are not familiar with tone, because maybe you did not master that concept in your ELA class, this is sarcasm. Okay.
So wait just a minute. Like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the sound advice of an adult is telling another adult to leave them?
An adult that is, when I say paid, ladies, paid as an education advocate. So many people have sat in our, she's here. She lives here. She's in the Houston area. Oh, absolutely. She lives here.
She must live off of Bissonnette.
I think she lives in, or she services Sugar. I'm not sure where she lives, but so much has come out about her. This lady has a child that, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong in the audience, she has a son that has autism. And she was saying that she prayed the autism away out of her child. Like, she did some type of exorcism or some crazy stuff that she did. This lady has no education background, no education degree, no teaching experience, no nothing. But she is a grifter. She's a grifter because she can prey on the emotions of mothers and parents that have students that have special needs and get them to pay her. I looked up her rates, y'all, to come sit in an ARD. Her hourly rates, y'all, just say her hourly rates mimic my damn car note.
Wow. Girl, get out of here. And again, if y'all that gullible, sign me up.
She's paid. Now, somebody commented that they, I think they were in Fort Bend, they sat in an ARD with this lady because she came to one of their ARDs. And after 8 hours of being in the ARD, the parents said, let's just do whatever the teachers are telling us to do because I can't pay you anymore past this.
Wow.
She gonna drag it out. I don't know. I mean, I sat in an 8-9 hour R with an advocate before, advocate that needed a translator. It's hell. Okay,
I've left an R like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I have never been in an R.
Oh man.
It tried to last past the school hours, and I was like, I have to go.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, but these parents like to do that to bully us. Like, they like to come to the floor, to the table with these advocates because they know that they're going to bully and get their way. And unfortunately, I know, I'm going to just keep it a buck where I am, at least, they're able to get away with bullying those parents. I mean, bullying the school administration into giving them whatever they want. Which leads me to my next point. My next topic is these damn accommodation logs.
The damn accommodations.
The damn accommodations.
The accommodations.
The accommodations, period. The amount of accommodations. So this is something that we talked about as well, about what schools and like us keeping logs, period, right? When I made a video about us keeping logs and us having to turn in logs, people were like, logs? Y'all gotta keep logs? Y'all gotta turn in logs?
I know you one better. I make the same face that I'm in the school with one of them.
She didn't say that. For liability purposes, she did not say that. Her logs are up to date.
Everyone in every district has done their logs.
Everybody,
for the semester.
Yes, we have, and every student has had their accommodations met and followed.
Definitely met and followed.
All right.
Definitely met and followed.
All
And
right.
documented.
And documented and logs. Amen. Be quiet. Let me put a pin in your mouth. But the amount, guys, let's talk about some of the craziest accommodations. I think we went in a group chat and I asked y'all, I said, y'all, hey, I got a kid that people thought I was lying. I got a kid that has the accommodation for being able to eat some salty chips when they have an anxiety or when their anxiety is high. And I was like, this is not real life. This is not real life. I had one that said a kid had to use a squishy. Now, here's my
favorite one. Don't say your favorite one. Say your favorite one.
No, I'm not saying my favorite. It's too Pacific.
Is it the one where they are able to retreat from the classroom whenever they feel stressed?
Yes, that's one of them. But another one
they can retreat.
No.
Yeah.
Because I want that player. Is the one he got.
That one is too Pacific. I like to say Pacific. Guys, we know it's specific. We just joke.
It's specific.
That's a Twitter joke. I know that's a Twitter joke. Pacific. But anyway, so I always like to err on the side of caution and say that, hey, you know what? I'm not an educational diagnostician. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not here to tell you what your child needs or what a professional with a license said that your child needs, right? But I am here to say that some of these things are common teaching practices or just good teaching practices
that we already do,
or things that I just don't give a rat's behind about. Okay, if your child has to hold a squishy while they work, I don't care. That doesn't. I probably won't even notice if they're holding a damn squishy in their hand. Why do I have to document each day that I allowed your child to hold a squishy? Okay, another one. I think you and I have this person in common. Allow unlimited access to water.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, why are you putting that in a plan? Why are you making me document that daily that I allowed unlimited access to water? Everybody has unlimited access to water because y'all are buying y'all's kids $60 Stanley cups.
But won't buy me one. I mean, I did get one.
I got one for Christmas this year too. Thank you.
Lord. So I just think that some of these things, it's overkill for us as teachers. It's so unfair for us to have to log and document that. And I think a lot of us were talking about how stressed we were at the end trying to make sure that we had our T's crossed, our I's dotted when it came to those accommodation logs. Now, again, this is not saying that we have not been following students' accommodations all year, right? But now it's like I hadn't had time to sit there and document each day. And we're talking about, we have a kid in common that has like 12 pages.
Nah, hell no.
Yes.
Let's talk about one.
Okay.
Let's talk about one.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about you being able to doodle while I am lecturing. So you're supposed to be able to draw while I'm lecturing, but you're still supposed to take notes. I'm supposed to document that you're drawing every day. I can't document that. I don't know if you're drawing. I'm not paying attention to your drawing, but I'm supposed to document that you are doodling while you are taking notes because I am lecturing and I should be paying attention to you.
To you and only
to you. And to you, because you're the only one that matters.
No, because you're the only one with preferential seating or close proximity to the teacher.
I got about 5 of them.
Make eye contact, give verbal whatever.
Oh my God.
I checked for understanding when I said, yeah, everybody understand the lesson?
Hello.
To me,
At this point, 75% of the class is sitting next to the teacher, and it's just now in my whole class. And
I can tell y'all right now, I give
to
accommodations to 100% of my students,
and that's
not because it's documented, but
Yeah.
because
It's easier to do at that point.
But guess what?
Give to all.
You'll have a kid that we have in common that'll say, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not what you're supposed to do. My kid gets the accommodation. You shouldn't be giving everybody extra time because only my kid is deserving of extra time. But if I say, hey, me as the degree certified educated professional say everybody actually needed an extra day on this assignment, well, then my kid should get an extra 2 or 3 then.
no, just 2. You get the extra day.
And again, activist speaking, this is what breeds the sense of entitlement from, certain people. And we carry on throughout our lives feeling this way because we've been entitled since we were little kids, thinking that we get our way and we get preferential treatment and, and then we have nervous breakdowns because we're not used to when
or we get 89 instead of a 90 and now we're having a panic attack in our classroom.
And now we're having anxiety attacks and now our parents are coming up to school and we're saying that it's your fault that my kid suffers from anxiety and
I always wonder what happens when these children go to high school
or college.
Our college.
Or
life.
job period.
I've always wondered because I know that I was told at one point that due to the fact that I'm in a middle school setting, we have way more accommodations that's in high school.
Absolutely.
Like they literally will meet with you at the beginning of the year, take your accommodations, reduce them down because a lot of them are redundant. However, they will reduce them down and make it plain to you. But in college, honestly, and I'm going to say this, I believe my brother who had never received accommodations in K through 12, received accommodations because he was on a full ride and they need to validate some things for his grade purposes. So they tested him and he had a slight dyslexic problem. So from that moment on, he got, a person to go to class with him, take his notes and all,
Modern day slavery for athletes, but carry on. I need to invest in my stock. This is a good, strong one with a good, strong base.
This is true.
Because what school did he go to?
The University of Oklahoma.
And that's why.
Oh, yeah.
But me and that black activist over here, we're going to keep it.
But my thing is, I go on to say that he received these accommodations due to his scholarship. But what about students who literally just apply to go to schools? You're not going to get these accommodations. They're not going to. You can apply for certain things in college, but it doesn't mean it's going to follow you in college.
But this is also, I'm glad you brought that up, but then I also want to go back to your statement about entitlement. But this is also a thing that parents don't understand when they're having these 504 meetings, and teachers, the importance of us documenting the accommodations that are not being used, right? So when we are in these 504 meetings and these IEP meetings, I'm going to specifically talk about 504 meetings because there are no IEPs in college. But when you talk about accommodations and we're in this meeting and you have this long list of things that you want your kid to do, and your kid is not using any of these things. Like I had a kid that says they're supposed to wear a hat in class and I have to keep the lights down low. Right?
For what? What kind of seduction moment is this?
I have to keep the lights down low. But okay, that's your one kid. I got 35 in his class.
Who say turn the lights on?
I can't see. Turn the lights on. So, but when I ask your kid, hey baby, you're supposed to have the lights turned down. You're supposed to have your hat on. I don't need that. My parents are just doing the most. Hey, I hear you, but this is what it says I'm supposed to do. I don't want that. I don't need that. I said, okay, well, let me tell you what's going to happen. I have to document that you're not using this accommodation. All right. So now when it's time to apply for college board accommodations, when it's time to take your SAT and your PSAT, or you can possibly have the opportunity to take these accommodations or some of these accommodations to you if you go to an institution of higher learning, you ain't using them, so you're going to lose them. And that's the thing. But parents don't understand. Somebody along the way told them, hey, this is the game. Your kid going to automatically pass if they got A, B, C, D. Because I'm getting emails from parents that say, hey, my kid has a 27-year class. I'm not sure if you're aware that they have accommodation. B-word, yes, I am. You read that foolishness? I am very aware. Like, I hated that's the opening line in their email. I'm not sure if you're aware that Jane has Baby, yes, I am. But Jane's accommodations do not give her permission to not do the assignment. Right? And these kids that have all these millions of excessive absences. Let me tell you what ran me hot about where I am. I don't know about where y'all work at. But these kids that take these high school, now I'm going on the tangent. These kids that take these high school credit courses and they have excessive absences for whatever reason. We've had issues with custody when the kid is with the daddy and the daddy don't bring them to school, so they're missing all of this school time. Or the kid
don't live in the neighborhood.
You don't live in a neighborhood. Concussion protocol. We got
went to your country.
You got 30 days because you went to your country to visit. We have all these things, right? And our plan where I am in my school, I don't know about y'all school, is that how these kids get to make up their high school credit hours is by simply attending the tutorials of any teacher. So if you're I'm going to use geometry, for example. You're an 8th grader taking geometry and you miss 13 days of geometry, and by the district policy, you're not allowed to get that semester of credit because you've had over the 90% or 10% of absences or whatever.
Like 11 days?
Yeah, something like that. So now you get to go make up your hours by going to science tutorials, history tutorials. You can go to the you can go to the Pokemon Club. You can go to the knitting club, any
the
club,
movie club,
organization,
whatever.
Chess club,
play cards game,
and teachers have to document that as hours that you spent in school to make up for geometry.
Pokemon Club, though.
The Pokemon Club.
Okay, so then my question becomes with that. Because if you get a high school credit in middle school, it doesn't affect your GPA. You just got the credit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Pass or fail, right? But in high school...
In some districts, because in other districts, it does affect your GPA.
Oh, in middle school for real?
It does.
Oh,
in
wow.
my previous district, it affected your GPA.
Oh,
but
wow.
in some districts, some parents fought back against that because their kids were not doing well. So they fought against that being counted towards their GPA. So now in some districts, it's just a pass-fail. Because those parents were like, hey, my child wasn't doing well in this class, and this shouldn't affect how they are in high school.
Wow.
But in other districts across the way,
So do you think knowing that knowing in your district that you fall into that category of pass and fail and it doesn't affect your GPA, and all we really need is a time? You know what I'm saying? All I really need is the time that I lost from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that aspect, does that make sense to you for them to... Does it make it okay, rather, in your mind?
It will make it okay if you're making up the time in the actual class that you missed.
Gotcha.
Because here's the thing. If I missed 13 days of geometry, I've probably missed 13 concepts that were taught in geometry. Why in the hell are you letting me make up hours? I'm sorry, Teachers After Dark. Why in the heck are you letting me make up hours by saying I attended the Pokemon Club after school from 5 to 5:30 on a Tuesday as a makeup for my geometry hours? That is insanity, because guess what, guys? Am I still learning? And then now, when I leave the 8th grade as a geometry student, I have to go. My next class is what? Algebra 2?
Algebra 2.
As a freshman? Do I have the skills I need to be able to be proficient in the Algebra 2 class?
If you even pass.
If you even pass.
But you're real good at the Pokemon Club, though.
You are great at going to go hunt those doggone Pokemons. Okay? Lastly, before we wrap this session up, gotta catch them all. Lastly, before we wrap this session up, is that you spoke on entitlement, Nikki, and I want to go back. Did y'all see? I don't know if y'all want some entertainment, follow the Parent Concerns of Fort Bend ISD group. Those are, I'm a Fort Bend ISD product, okay? And I am the Willow Ridge High School, the Ridgemont Elementary, the Crystal McCullough Middle School, and the Willow Ridge High School.
I went to Ridgemont Elementary.
You're a real one then.
The Lady Roadrunners, whoop whoop. Oh, sorry.
Just to 2nd grade.
Okay, you don't count though. You're not old.
But I did pre-K.
You got kicked out.
You got kicked out.
Pre-K, kindergarten, first, second.
You got to see it. You got to see it through, my boy. I was employed by Fort Bend ISD for a good chunk of my career.
Okay.
All right. So this parent group, right before the break, a teacher, unfortunately, at George Bush High School this is a teacher at George Bush High School. This is the second death they've had, because remember they had the big coach that passed away earlier in the school year.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
You said a teacher?
So a teacher recently passed away at the high school, right? The parents jump on this Facebook. I hate parent Facebook groups, but the parent jumped on the Facebook group and said something along the lines of, the school didn't even tell us how the teacher died or who the teacher was, and blah, 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 right? Now, the school district put out a statement saying, hey, we did have a teacher that passed away. Out of respect for the family, no details, no other information to be given at this time. Pray for them, whatever. If your child needs assistance, they can call this number. If any staff members need assistance, you can use your EAP benefits, Employee Assistance Program benefits, guys. Use it. Get 6 free counseling sessions or something like that.
Yes.
So the school or the district, and I'm always on Fort Bend head, all right? But Fort Bend did what they were supposed to do.
They do a lot of things right.
They do a lot of things right? And I'm one of them. But the entitlement of the parents in the Facebook group responded like, well, yeah, they should have at least told us how the teacher died or who the teacher died. Because what if my kid is affected? How will I know? Well, baby, that means you don't talk to your kid. Because if your kid was impacted, if your kid's teacher passed and they felt some type of way, you would know, because your kid would come home and tell you.
They would say, hey, Mr. Carter was not here today. Oh my gosh, I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, but you would know if it was your teacher.
I mean, entitlement for doggone me, sure. But it's the level of, in my mind, I'm thinking they're feeling, well, who's going to teach my child now? It's not about sympathy. It's no empathy. It's no genuine concern at all. It's who's going to teach my child.
Because my. But then, I always be treading lightly on telling your story when you went into... You had a medical emergency. Oh, yeah. Can I share?
Yeah, go for it.
So I remember a couple of years ago, you had a medical emergency. It was kind of similar to this moment. We were all at my home having a good old brunch, having a good old black ass back to school teacher brunch. You were not in attendance because you had a headache. Mm-hmm. You were sick. You were early pregnant and you were very, very sick. And for those that don't know, I'm talking to my little sister who also is a teacher. But I remember that weekend, you just not feeling well, right? And we had been teasing you the whole pregnancy about, oh, this your first pregnancy, suck it up, champ. You're going to have these pains. You'll be okay. But our mother was very adamant, like, my baby don't. She's also the baby of the family, guys. But our mom was also very adamant about, my baby doesn't sound right. Something is not right with my baby. And so this motherly instinct, mom got up and drove to your house. Mm-hmm. Because she said, I'm going to go check on my baby and take my baby a blood pressure cut. Because maybe something is going on with her blood pressure. And so we're all over here in my house, drunk as skunks, having a good old funky time before we returned to school that Monday. It was a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And we were due to report back that Monday after summer break. And I remember mom called me. Y'all were laughing. She's like, yeah, I'm just here talking to your sister. And I said something funny and you laughed. And she's laughed. And mom said, girl, this girl's still over here laughing, kicking her feet, laughing. And then she said, name. And she said, she's having a seizure, call 911. And I said, what's going on? And your husband was home, but he was taking a shower. Mm-hmm. So I remember they had to call 911. You got carried away by, she said everything is a blur from that day.
I remember nothing.
But she ended up, I think you were like 4.5, 5 months pregnant, babe, maybe?
5.5.
5.5. So anyway, long story short for the audience, guys, they ended up coming out telling my mom, hey, we gotta take the baby. If we want to save her life, her blood pressure is extremely elevated. If we want to save her life, we gotta take the baby right now. Right? So it was a matter of her or the baby. So my mom had to make the decision to like, go ahead and do what you gotta do. So long story short, we ended up having this baby. And the baby can fit in your hand. She's a micro preemie.
Such an amazing baby.
She's here now. She's bad as hell, y'all. But anyway,
she's an angel.
She's an angel. She's so grown and bossy right now. But anyway, but you were out and you were teaching a high school level course. You were teaching middle school and you were teaching a high school level course. And baby, the entitlement of your parents. Mm-hmm. Your parents are upset that they didn't have a teacher. Mm-hmm. Your parents are upset that you were not responding to emails as you were in the hospital fighting for her, literally fighting for her life because she was out of there for about 6 days after that.
Wow.
How many days after that did our father pass away?
Oh, 6 or 7.
7 days after the birth of our little miracle baby, our dad passed away. So we had trauma on top of trauma. And these parents were mad because she was not responding to emails.
And that's what that's
when you go back to the school shooting and taking the bullet.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not doing anything for your child that's going to end me. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. And it's all about who's here for my kid? Who's here for my kid? Who's here for my kid? Yeah. And it goes, and who's going to be there for our children? And when you can answer that question, then I'll answer your question about your child.
And even you went out on maternity leave a couple of times, and you're over a lot of programs. A couple.
No, a few. A couple is 2.
She got a
village.
Don't
say few.
That's okay.
Because my mama said few. No, say several. It's not quite 7. It's not quite 7,
but it's close to it.
So I will say I have made some Facebook group chats because I was not responding to emails because I was on maternity leave. And they were really making a stink. Like, I mean, we got like 40 something comments over why she is not, responding. And oh my gosh, this is terrible leadership. And who should we contact? And then there was like one lonely little comment and said, hey guys, she just had a baby. And they said, well, who's going to do her job?
That's all they care about. Because that's what it is. That's all it is.
And parent entitlement.
And you can write this down. That's how I feel every day when I'm not coming to that job. It's just a job.
I'm
Figure it out.
Real quick, y'all, because this, speaking of that just brings me into this one particular parent who tried to shade me the other day by not acknowledging my presence. She was one very specific parent who my first week back, she sent a very lovely introduction email and said, oh, I'm so happy that you're back from maternity leave. I hope the baby is doing well. And then in the second paragraph proceeded to say that you have not responded to my emails. And I want to know when you are going to address my concerns. And I'm like, girl, you acknowledged in the first paragraph, welcome back.
And these are mothers, okay? These are mothers. These are people that have had their twats ripped open from a baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not teachers that were dark. You've experienced what childbirth is. I'm so sorry, y'all. My people that are
see
conservative
people like that as mothers. I'm sorry. I don't care. That's a female to me.
But again, that's a certain type,
a certain demographic.
It's that certain
entitlement. Entitlement. That you work for me. You work for me.
And that's probably why I'm not over really nothing for real, because I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. You're not gonna email me no more.
That's that mammy syndrome kicking in.
And I will say, and being a person that still teaches a high school level class, that experience that I had where I did have that medical emergency, it definitely put a lot of things into perspective for me. So I definitely make sure that I put myself first and I put my daughter daughter first. I put my family first. And I am very, like, if a parent tries to come for me, I'm like, no, baby, let me show you all the receipts and how you not going to talk to me.
This is the queen of receipts. If y'all don't, if y'all need a documentation.
Meeting with her is hilarious.
Oh, Lord.
But it just let me know, like, I'm not going to let you or allow you to talk to me, treat me any type of way. Like, there are bigger things other than you. Your child is not the most important thing to me. So, and at the end of the day,
I can see why they don't like it.
At the end of the day, you need me. I do not need you. Whether you move your child out of my class, whether your child does not go to this school, I'm still going to continue teaching. I'm still going to continue doing what I'm doing. Life is going to go on. So you can be mad at me. You can hate me. I can be the villain in your story. That's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine.
But my life is going to continue.
I'm gonna make a note here because I want to, when we go back and record our next episode of Teachers After Dark, I want to put the at the end of the day story. The end of the day, at the end of the day story, if you are not a subscriber to Teachers After Dark on Patreon, please subscribe because, baby, it goes down over there.
It does.
We get a little ratchet over there. But I definitely want to tell your at the end of the day story because you are the pettiest. Well, wait, I don't know. I thought you were the pettiest person, but I think this one got you beat because this one keeps documentation.
She keeps documentation. I can say what I want to say.
Yeah. But we got to tell the at the end of the day story. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up. This is going to be our last episode of 2024. On Ridgemont Forest Finest, the podcast, guys.
Get all that you want in 2025.
We wish you a healthy, a happy, and prosperous new year. We appreciate everything you've done to hold Ridgemont Forest Finest, the podcast, down, and Ridgemont Forest Finest on social media. We appreciate you guys so much, and we wish you the best in 2025.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.